sense to me.
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's well. Welcome to Airfix and Chill for a bit of a special one tonight. Who we just lost? Who's just dropped
Don't
out?
lost me. I'm still here.
You're
Simon?
still here. Somebody just dropped out. I think Simon's dropped out. That's right. He'll come back in a minute. I'll add him in a minute. I had a very interesting call today from a reputable person who said they've contacted Hella and they'd like to get involved with Airfix and Chill. So I emailed, I got his email basically saying this is Tobias Della from Glow2B stroke Hella. He's their business development guy. And he wasn't able to come on tonight, but he gave me 30 minutes of his time to do a quick interview today from where I work, from my little unit, deep in the depths of on the border of Devon and Somerset. So it's not pure quality, obviously, but it's a really good interview because it's basically, they put a flag down. And he explained the history of Glow2B, which is one of the biggest modeling distributors in Europe. And he goes into the whole makeup of Hella. But before we do that, I just want to welcome along. We've got John Alec in tonight. We've got Ben. We've got Barry. We've got Jim. We've got John. We've got Zinzan. And we've got Simon as well. Luke's working. Nigel has just said he'll pop on. Well, mate, if you go to your emails, there's an email there for you with the link on. If you want to send it again, let me know. I'll send it again. I know Zinzan had to be sent again, but I did a group email last night because I arranged all this last night. So we're going to then the interview is 22 minutes long, and I'm unsure whether it's worth just watching the interview as a whole and jumping in at certain points that intrigue you. Or do we watch the whole interview and then we go in full force after? What's the thoughts here, guys? What do you want to do? Just wing it. I think that's
if someone comes up with a point, we'll say so.
Yeah, I think that's a good show, actually. So what we'll do, we'll play the interview of it. I will put this interview. It is actually on the channel at the moment. So we will. You will be able to watch the interview back, but I put it unlisted. I might even just add some more to it and then put it live later on so you can watch the full interview. Very interesting. So if I press this button here, add to stage, and there is the interview there. Hopefully, if I press play now, we should get the interview. So brace yourself, folks. Enjoy. And Nigel, you're welcome on anytime. So yeah, pop on. Pop on, bearded veteran, if you want to come in as well. I've edited out to some few, so if you want to jump in. Right, let's play the interview. Hello, we have Tobias today doing a little bit of an interview with us for Airfix and Chill. Tobias, do you want to introduce yourself to the folks of Airfix and Chill, if that's possible?
Yes, thank you very much for having me today. My name is Tobias. I'm working at Glow2B, and I'm responsible for sales and marketing. So I'll try to give you a little bit of background on the Hello brand and what we're doing in the recent times.
Brilliant. Exciting times. 2023, I believe that Glow2B actually bought the rights to Hella and all of the tooling. Is that correct?
Oh no, it was a little bit earlier than that. It was in 2019 that the process was initiated. So the former owner was thinking about closing down the brand. And as you may know, Glow2B is one of the leading European distributors and wholesalers for model kits. And of course, we're very well connected in the industry. And we were asked by some good friend who said, would you like to take up that brand and keep it alive? And since we were a distributor of Hella from right from the start of the company, we said, okay, that's a chance. Of course, distribution is a different business than production. So we started to think about how it could be done. And then we took the chance and yes, I kept it alive. But it's been a lot of work since then. And probably you're right. The first things that people really notice may just have come out in the last few years, because it's been a long ride and a lot of work to get to where we're at today.
So have you moved all production from Tra in France to Germany now for the Hella brand?
No, not at all. It is still in the same place. It's still in Tra, in Normandy, where it has been all the time. And that's one of the things that that is very important for us, because there are some really nice and capable people there who did the production in the past. And we were happy that a local company that was into injection molding actually said, okay, we would like to take over the site, because we have a huge mold bank there. We've got more than 1,000 tools there.
Yes.
And so just moving all that heavy metal would have been horrendous work. So we were happy to not do that and keep the production where it is. So this injection molding partner there, he invested heavily into machinery, into automatic systems. He took over some of the stuff that used to work for the Hella company before. So it's the same guys doing the job, and some new ones have come to it. And so production is still fully in France, and we have no idea or no wish to move that anywhere else in the world.
Brilliant. Yes, I think on the somebody mentioned when I did your video on the Peugeot the 205 GTI, it said it was made in Germany. So that was why I brought that question up, just to you know.
If you have a look at our boxes, we have a little like a sticker or a label on the lower side of the box. It says truly European, which means, of course, it says made in Germany on the box due to legal reasons, and the company is located in Germany. So legally, we're a German company, but production is still in France. We do have European partners for different parts of the boxes. So, for example, printing of some of the boxes is done in Italy. We have friends from Czech Republic helping us with the decals. So it's a European project and not just in Germany. No.
Brilliant. Moving forwards, now you've established yourself as producing new tooled kits, i.e. the Peugeot 205 GTI, the Hawkeye. You've mentioned that you've got a tractor, another tractor. There's a Massey Ferguson 135 that was shared that you were in development. Is that due out soon, that tractor?
Well, it's always a bit tricky to talk about the future. I can say that we do have a lot of exciting news coming up. Yes, there is a tractor in planning. Yes, we will do a new aircraft, civil and military. For next year, we will see more cars. So we have a huge lineup of ideas, and we would love to produce them all at the same time. But resources are finite in terms of people who can do it, production who can produce, and then also we have to look at the money, of course. So I think there are exciting times ahead for the brand and for all the friends all around the world who are looking for new kits.
Brilliant. I was just noticing, I had a little gander on Scalemates, and you've not really been that quiet, because in the last 5 years you've released not new tooling but like new parts or new change of box, 178 different model kits or model sets. That's roughly around, going back the last 3 years, about 60 a year. Is that the plan moving forwards, to release around 60 new model kits, whether it's a brand new tool or whether they be made into a model set with the paints, etc.? Is that the plan for the future?
Well, this number is a bit skewed, of course, because when we took over, we changed all the boxes to a new design, and we redid a lot of the instructions inside. So we did a lot of work on the product, and still we will see re-releases of them out of our huge mold bank that we have there in Normandy, and this will continue in the future. And we're very happy if people tell us what kits they are looking for, because they may know them from their use or from former times. I cannot give you an exact number of how many kits a year, but we will do those re-releases because we're very proud of them. You know, it's nothing we're ashamed of. It's the other way around. If you look at our boxes, we say this mold was made, let's say, in 1978, but we reworked it completely in 2025. And so we've invested a lot of money, a lot of time into that, because we feel that those kits are still very relevant to the market and that they have a great future. But if you buy them today, they have the quality as they had in the year they were first released, and we've improved on the boxes, we've improved on the instructions. So we're still investing in that part, and apart from that, new tools as well.
Brilliant. One of the things we always ask is where you get your decals made. Are you using like a company like Cartograph to make your decals, or are you still producing them in-house?
No, we're not producing them in-house. We are producing them with a good befriended company in Czech Republic, that I can say. We do work with people who really know the in and outs of that business, and so that's part of the strategy that I told you earlier, to see who's good in what we're looking for, because we're too small to do everything ourselves. So we look for the right partners in everything. And I can tell you, the Hawkeye, for example, is a kit that is based on the kit, the 1/48 scale kit made by Kinetic. So we're working with those friends, and then we did a joint development of the tool for the 1/72 scale Hawkeye that we did this year. So it is always, you know, from our background, we know the industry well, we know who is good at what, and then we recombine those things and try to find the best solution for the project on hand.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just looking at some of the stuff that you've released in the last couple of years. You know, the FCM 36 tank. You've got the A10 Thunderbolt 2, all with like change boxes, and you seem to be heading a lot of in the pathway of putting the paints and the cement in the box with them. When you do a release, you also release it with that. Is that a strategy for Hella to do that with most of your kits?
Yes, so it's not with most of our kits, it's with all of our kits. So you can get every kit as a standard kit and every kit as a so-called starter kit, including the glue, the colors, a brush. That is our strategy, to make it accessible to people who are maybe not the die-hard modelers, but somebody who remembers a theme from the use, or who said, oh, I built this 30, 40 years ago, I would like to do it again. And then you've got everything on hand and don't have to go around shopping for everything that is needed. So everything is available as a starter set, from the smallest 1/43 scale car that we currently sell at 10 euros, or they can be bought at 10 euros, and up to the Soleil Royal, which is a bit more pricey than that.
It's interesting, because I was looking through some of the lorries that you have produced over the years that were reboxed at the time by Airfix, the Scania and etc. They will be good to have in the mix, especially with all the paints and everything. I can see a lot of former lorry drivers who have got into scale modelling enjoy building them indeed. Moving on to the future of Hella, is it safe? Can I say that? Is that the word? You know, have you got a vision for the next 5 years or 10 years of the brand continuing its development with its new tooling and with releases?
Yes. I know from the past that there have several times been questions about the future of the company. And so when we took it over, it was important for us that we felt that we can give it a stable home for a long time future. We believe Hella is one of those iconic brands in Europe, next to Airfix and Humbrol, and we believe that it has its place in the market, and we want to continue to grow it. We want to attract new modelers as well. So there's, building on the legacy that we have, showing a future where maybe even people who haven't thought about modeling as a hobby at all, to bring them back, or for the first time, to that hobby, because we believe our biggest competitor is not the next brand. Our biggest competitor is Netflix and other sources of entertainment these days, and we need to show people that in a world of artificial intelligence, it's still a great hobby to do something with your hand, to build something that looks just stunning, and that gives you a pride in what you've achieved.
That's a very, very apt point. That you see that your biggest competitor is not other model companies; it's the likes of Netflix, and and there is a place for artistic, artistic skills, developing, building, etc., and painting up, weathering, etc. Yeah, I get all that. That's a really good point. The next tool that's due out, I think, in the next couple of weeks is the trailer, the 3TO 124 scale trailer. Now, will that all fit nicely with my Ferguson T20 that I bought, T20 that I built this year?
Yes, it will fit nicely with a lot of different tractors, not just from ours, but also from other brands. It will also fit very nicely with the 8 new set of figures that we've just released this year in 1:24 scale. We have 2 other trailers that we released last year, a goods trailer and a car trailer. So there's a lot you can put behind your tractor or any truck and lorry that you look for. So I think they are really magnificent, because it makes your kits just so much more complete, and we are very happy to expand on that range in the future as well. Yes.
Going back to your paints, another question that was asked, because you've got the paint colors for Hella and Revell. Am I right in saying that the Hella numbers do collaborate with the Humbrol numbers as well? Where
yes.
you've got, so I'm presuming is it that you basically just matched, you've created your own paint brand, obviously Hella paint, but you've gone very close, or you've copied the Humbrol one to make it ease, for the scale modeler.
Yeah, well, actually, it's not a copy thing. It's a bit of a historic thing, because there was a time when Humbrol, Hella, and Airfix used to be in one company, before the Hornby times. So, and in that time, when the paints were developed, they were made with matching numbers. Yes. So, as some numbers are added, or maybe also deleted from the range, that might not be 1-to-1 exactly the same, but those who used to be the same in the past are still the same, and so you can very well go for the Hella paints as well, who have a fantastic price point, and as we are told by many modelers, an excellent quality for the price. So it's a good choice, and you should at least try it once.
I have a very, very vast range of paints I seem to be using. I never seem to stick to one brand. There's always, I get that. Now, going on to your figures, you are releasing, I think it's 9 sets of figures, mechanics, farmers. Why have you gone, just put it out there, with the range that is coming along with 3D printed figures, and it's just put it out there, why the decision to recreate or create figures in styrene and not gone down the 3D print route?
Well, that's something that we're looking at as well, but we feel that a classic injection molded figure is still something that people love to build, and of course it has its own qualities, and we felt that those topics that we addressed this year are things that are missing in the market and that have a good potential, in combination with the kits that we have on our range, but also with kits from other brands, and we are happy to see that they are very well accepted in the market already. And for us as a brand, I think that's not a secret. Those sets also give us the opportunity to come up with new sets containing a car plus accessory, etc. So you should be looking out for 2026. I think we've got some nice ideas for that too.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think the diorama, the vac form diorama bases are fantastic. I like to see if you could sell them separately, because I think a lot of people could use them in their dioramas. I thought there was a very good touch with that Ferguson T20 tractor, because it was 2-in-1. You could basically build them both. You can build the English version and then the European version. It was a very, very nice touch, that. Come on, carry on. You want to say something?
No.
Okay, sorry. The future of Hella, is it bright? Are you excited about what you're going to be doing in the next few years?
We're very excited, and I mean, if not the future is bright as the color on our boxes, I'd say. So I think I think we're really seeing a good start. We laugh. I mean, we have retailers calling us saying the Peugeot 205 GTI is already sold out, asking us for restock quickly. So that's giving us a very warm feeling, because it's. I mean, one part is business, one part is doing your job, but on the other hand, seeing that people love what you do and talk about it is something that's really special to us. And we do have a lot of ideas for the future, and we try to be creative with what we've got in terms of new products, but also with what we've got on our mold bank, like just we did this year with the Edo truck, which is a combination and let's say a what-if design, something that we thought up, and it is selling very well. We do get very good reviews on it, and we love to find new ways to keep that hobby interesting to everybody and attract new people. So I feel we have a lot of future and a lot of work ahead of us. So look out for it. It'll be good.
Just the other thing I've noticed, I know that the plane was military. Are you going to be going for what I call the civilian market with your cars, your lorries, or do you have a path for military models? For instance, if somebody said to me, what's the best 1/72nd scale Sherman, I would say the latest Hella one, because it's a very, very good tool, and there's a lot of plastic in that box. There's different variants you can do. Very, very good. But that was the last one I think I remember you doing. Is there something in the future that you're going to, or are you going to look at both these sectors, civilian, military, or are you going to just concentrate on the civilian side for now?
No, we're doing both. I mean, due to the history of Halle and the location in Normandy, of course, all things related to D-Day, World War II, there's a lot of sets that are still very popular, especially in the summer season when tourists from all over the world come to see the memorial sites. We do have a more recent idea for next year for military aircraft in 1/72 scale that is coming out. So we're looking at both sides of the market. It's not just military or not just civilian. So right now with the cars and the things that we've done this year, it's a bit more on the civil side, but we do also have military ideas for the future.
Fantastic. What was the question I was going to ask you? Supply and demand, obviously. Fortunately, I put this live stream up for tonight, and then Matt from Jadlam contacted me saying he had a contact for you, and they're working very closely with you bringing the product in. Have you got suppliers now in the UK trying to get your product in? Have you got like distributors? Are you working with people to bring the product in easier because of the Brexit and everything? I understand that.
Actually, logistics have become a little more complicated after Brexit, but I think we figured it out quite well. We do have fantastic retail partners in the UK, just as Jadlam that you just mentioned, and we are in very close contact with them to bring our products to the UK market as well. I mean, we did the Peugeot 205 with the right-hand drive option as well, because we found that the UK market deserves its own version, and we didn't make separate boxes box out of it, but just put it in into the same kit so you can choose for yourself. Yes, so the UK is important. The UK market is important for us. We do advertise regularly, let's say, for example, in the Airfix magazine, and we're looking for more options to talk about our brand in the UK market. So that's why I'm very happy that you invited me today, because we feel it is a strong market, a lot of very interested, nice people who are very much follow us in a good and a positive way. And yes, whatever we can do to increase our UK business, we are very happy to do that.
Brilliant, fantastic. We'll be seeing you at Telford in 2026 for the Scale Model World at International Centre in Telford, because you weren't there this year.
Yes. So to be honest, we are not that big a team, and sometimes we have to juggle our priorities. And but there's one thing we really strongly feel, and we haven't made it this year, but we want to be more open or more out of our office and into the world, to the trade shows, and Telford is definitely on the list. I cannot make it a promise as of now, but I would be very it would be very unlikely to see that we are not coming. So fingers crossed. I hope it will work out, and we will be there next year, and to meet all you guys live and show you what we've got done by then.
Well, I want to congratulate you again for bringing out those the Hawkeye and the Peugeot 205 GTI, which kind of my heart, because all my friends either had a Ford Fiesta, a Corsa, a Mini Metro, or the Peugeot 205 as their very first car. And we'd all have our Kenwood stickers on the back, to tell everybody that what stereo we had in it, so that if they want to break in and nick it, they can, But really appreciate your time. Obviously, you are welcome. And if you've got a new tool in, or you want to announce something, you're quite welcome to knock on my door, and the Airfix team will welcome you on, and hopefully have a proper live stream where we can chat with you and get the viewers to ask questions as well. But again, thank you so much for this interview. Well, it's been 24 minutes, but again, you're very welcome anytime. Just ping me an email, and we will announce or discuss what you're bringing out to the Scale Model community in the future. Again, Tobias, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Moz. It's been a pleasure, and I'll be happy to be back soon with some good news. And thank you very much for your splendid job and for your interest in Hella. Talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. Well, there you are. I think everyone's on mute. So if you want to unmute yourselves now. And we can.
Sorry.
Are we all unmuted? Very good. I've got somebody else, haven't we? Let's have a little look. Where we to? There we are. Let's get Mike on. Bearded Veterans. Hello, my friend. Well, what can we say? I thought that was a very, very good interview. I enjoyed it. There was a lot to be said there. Does anybody want to start with anything that he had mentioned?
I will. It's really bloody interesting to see this, and it's remarkable what they've done in a short period of time, having really taken on the brand. I mean, they've made some decisions that one might think are a little risky, in the sense that they're looking at double stocking the larger part of their range by the look of it. But that may work well for them in France, where they're strong, and obviously in Germany, where they're getting stronger. But I think the key message that comes out of this for me is the fact that they're clearly very keen to make a strong entry into the UK market. And I think getting involved with things like, the soiree with Moss and, Airfix and Chill and such things, I think is a really good idea for them. And that forms part of a really strong marketing plan to make themselves much more well known. I don't hear a lot of people saying thank you very much for not leaving me on large. I suspect I'd frighten the shit.
that was fine. I didn't realise. So I was there looking at other things, and I realised you were being put up large. So I'm trying to get rid of the old video.
I believe that people are having counselling even as we speak. No, but I think this is a very interesting development. That the fact that these guys have reached out to you, illustrates to some extent, or to a great extent, their degree of interest in being involved in the UK market. I think they'll come to America as well eventually, but it's the next correct step to actually work closely with a UK partner or partners to be able to develop this market for them. I think there's more than enough business for everybody.
Oh, but without a doubt. But I was actually thinking about this, that if you look at the cars that I've built over the years, they've been hella in that, hella plastic in that Airfix box. You know, I've got that Peugeot 905 here somewhere. I've got that Scania Euro truck right up there. You know, I'm just looking at some of the kits that I have, because remember, I'm a tart. You know, I've got stuff with Airfix on that basically other plastic, and at the time there was that relationship, and he made a point of that. You know, they've got a very. He said that they've got a fantastic relationship with Airfix because of there's still. Listen, back in the day, we have to realise that I know it went slightly south when it was all under one umbrella, under Borden, but at the end of the day, between them, they kept themselves going for that period of time.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I think the relationship's still strong. But when I look at it, the cars that I've built in the, you know, and the bikes as well, like the Yamaha 125, I think it was. They're hella plastic inside, and vice versa. There are kits out there that are Airfix. You know, the hella, is it the QE2? Was it the Queen Mary? That box that was originally released under Airfix, and now Hella have got that plastic. You know, so there's that synonymous relationship there, and I think the real take for me is that they don't see the competitor as the likes of Airfix, Revell, or Miniart, or whatever. Their competitor is Netflix. I thought that was a very, very interesting take. What's your thoughts, Ben?
I mean, I'm very much impressed with the interview generally. I thought it's a strong foot forward by Hella into certainly into the UK market, because most people would think of them as, because of Airfix over here, sort of a purely continental brand. The thing, I mean, I made some notes. You know, I like the fact that they're going to possibly bring back, you know, some vintage Hella kits, some older toolings. So that's a good one. They seem to be following the market trend on that, and I think that's a wise thing to do. But also that they've expressed that they're going to want to do more military and civil aircraft. So for me, that's what pricked my ears up. And I just wonder, again, the Hawkeye was something people didn't really see Hella doing. It was, very much quite random. It's not a French subject, which probably most people would presume Hella would do. But there again, I want to say the French do operate an Hawkeye on the Charles de Gaulle. So again, they've proved that they can do an excellent tooling. So I think it leaves it open to what their next new release could be. And I think that's interesting. Whereas maybe with other brands, we can sort of generally guess the area where they're going to go into. I think with Hella, it's actually very much open. It could be a complete surprise, certainly from their aircraft point of view, of what will they release next. And I think that's a little bit of a bonus they've now created with the traction off the back of the Hawkeye. Yeah.
I think on Discord, on the Moz Scale Model Club Discord, any company willing to try, this is from Adam Mack, he's called Mac, but any company willing to try and improve their product and service good for us all, more competition the better. And Wayne Stiller replied, I'm with Adam, with any company issuing new products is good, and Hella did some great niche stuff, and hope that they can retain that character. And well, clearly they have, because who else is going to release trailers like the car transporter trailer, the 3TO trailer that would look, like I said, will look great behind the Ferguson tractor? And and don't forget, if you look at Scalemates, they've got the Ferg. I asked him about it, and I think he was a little bit quiet on it. So I don't think whether he realised that it was being announced back in 2023. I had the joy of seeing the box art. If I can get it up on screen here, was it share screen? This one here. Back in 2023, they let's get this one up. They were going to bring out the Massey Ferguson 315, and everybody knows that apart from the Ferguson T20 that basically brought us out of the war and made farmers produce 20 times more crops and everything. The next one on was the Massey Ferguson 135, and I think my generation would know that one more than the T20, even though I've driven one and my father owned one. But a lot of the tractors back then was that Ferguson 135, which was the next era on, which done even more for us. And I said that was 2023, so it's taken them 2 years. It took them 2 years to get the Hawkeye out. So hopefully this one will be in the balance, and it will look really good with that trailer. But yeah, they seem to be coming on strong with what they're producing.
I mean, the only change I would like them to do though is again, it comes to my favourite gripe that is ships. Hella are the only brand who do 1/400th. It's a metric scale. Right. It's really random. Please change at least your shoulder gall carrier and your Clemenceaus into 1/350. That's all I ask. The rest can all be 400th because there's other releases of those ships, but specifically the French carriers, nobody else does them. If you were to retool them in 350th, guarantee you they would sell.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they said when people moan about boats, Hella do a Ferrara of boats, don't they? There's a vast amount of boats that they do.
They do a lot of boats.
Steve London, what is considered Hella's best kit? I have never built one. That's a good question. It depends what you're looking for. 1 to 43rd scale cars is what we all built, wasn't it? They were basic, but they went together without real filler or anything. They just, they were a little bit under detailed, but that's for you guys to detail up as best you can. That Peugeot 205 GTI, I've not built it, but they've even put the decal in for the trim of the seats, that the two-tone grey with the red stripe down the middle. Very, very good. I'm just trying to think of some of the kits that that I've built. Just thinking that the bikes were not that good. I'm not going to get me wrong, but he also mentioned that they are cleaning up the tooling. So if the bike that I built, I think it was the Yamaha. There was so much flash on it. It could have had its own TV show.
Ming the Merciless was after it.
Yeah, he was, definitely. So I couldn't tell you what their best kit was or is, but look at what we've all done with those who have built that Ferguson tractor, like Luke from Black Rifles, because I gave him I built one and he built the other. What we've done with them tractors, they went together and there's not a jot of filler on them. The only thing I did was add a little bit of glue and some very small bits of copper wire just on the top of the distributor cap. That's all I did with that. Nothing special with it, and then just basically weathered the hell out of it. But they've done really well for themselves, to be honest. So yeah, but this one here. I didn't even know this was released. This is a brand new tool from last year. I did not know it was even out yet. So it's I think they just need to create a voice for themselves. What's your take on this, John? You're a bit of a car man, aren't you? You like your cars, don't you?
You're talking about John Alec.
Both of you, John or Joffy.
I do know that they have released Fourgonet before in 24th, but not with that body shell.
This is a new tool, apparently.
Yeah, but that body shell is a new tool. But they did release the Gendarmerie Fourgonet and a 2CV separate car set.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how long ago, probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So the subject isn't new, but that body shell is. It's a brand new release.
Yeah. Yeah.
Decidedly French subject as well.
Well, they
But
do a lot of French subjects, don't they? I mean,
Yeah,
that's Heller's niche is the fact that like 90% of everything they release is French. Their aircraft range is awesome.
appealing to the home market. And I don't blame them.
Well, no, I don't blame them either.
You know, there's like Heller is to France what Airfix is to Britain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And we should.
I think when Heller and Airfix, I think when Heller and Airfix got together in the mid '80s, I think they learned a lot from each other.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Just looking at these, this here is all the new tooling, all the new releases this year that they're planning. You got the Lancia Beta Monte Carlo Turbo, beautiful car by the way. That's coming new decals. The Peterbilt 359 Wreckers starter kit in 1/43rd. You know, I don't think they've released that one for many a year. When was the last time that was released? Look, that was released back in 1980s. That kit. And so there it is, the complete trucker trade. So they've built that. So they've basically done. I think they've done new parts for it. I think, but yeah. So they've created it with a new box, and this is the wrecker version. But we've not seen that for many a year, have we?
4 year.
You know, so you know, I bet they've gone through all that. You know, do you remember when I said to him that would he you know, have they moved the tool into Germany? And he said that's a lot of heavy metal to move across borders, like, isn't it? So, but I only mentioned it was made in Germany because it says on the box made in Germany. But as he explained, you know, the company is German, and though the plastic is created in there, I think they've done a little bit of what Apple's done, isn't it? Like, you know, they say it's made in China but designed in California, you know, to take a bit of it from what, you know, a bit of it on. So, gear lever in the dashboard on soldier height, right? Okay.
I think it'll be interesting to see the stamps on the sprue, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it
would be actually.
Kit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I said, you know, things like this, you know, they've got a vision here, haven't they? There you go. So we've got to look at where the Peterbilt was last released. Actually, that one there was back in 1974. So now you're going to get that one with brand new decals, and who knows what the plastic's like. You know, they probably cleaned up the tool to make it pretty much on board, really. So fair play to them for doing that. You know, the Peugeot 205 is a model set. You know, and the Kenworth K. You know, this is 1/43rd scale. So, you know, fair play to them. And these are they're doing the car mechanics as well as a model set and a new tool, and they got two types there actually. So yeah, you know what more else to say really? I think fair play to them if they're looking at it that way. The Grosser family, Urban People. Just looking through what they've announced, the Road Workers. So you can clearly see what they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing complete sets, aren't they? Where you will get the model kit, the figures, a diorama, the paints, the glue. But yeah, it could be a bit of a risk, I suppose, with double the stock.
They've done that before in the past, haven't they, Ross?
Yeah. They have.
They did it with the Opel Blitz and Pack 40 Airfix kit. They put figures in it and paints, brushes, glue, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Seemed to do quite well.
So is this one with new parts then? I guess I'll just see. As a fire engine, they last released this one in 1983.
Yeah,
and they released it again now. They've done the the original, which is the foregone, as a van, and now they're going to bring as a fire, the fire engine, which they haven't done since 1983. So, future release that one with it, which includes all their paints. I personally, I think I wouldn't buy a kit necessarily because, this is me personally, because it's got paint in it. because I know what I'm doing. But if there's somebody that's new to the hobble, well, not saying new, but somebody who doesn't want to faff around trying to get every paint going, this could be the answer to their prayers. And I do bequest that Airfix don't do enough starter sets. Revell do plenty of, well, not starter sets, gift sets, I should say. Revell do a lot of gift sets, don't they? And there's one thing that Tamiya doesn't, isn't it? I don't think Tamiya does it. Edard don't do it. Just trying to think of other ones. Tannery do sometimes with their Vallejo paints, don't they? But do ICM, do they do starter sets with their paints?
I've never seen a starter set from ICM.
No, they
No.
make a point of saying that their kits aren't for beginners.
What's that, ICM?
Yeah, because whenever Gary Evans gets in touch, and they always remind him of that.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a very good shout. By the way, folks, this is Bearded Veterans. Mike, nice of you to join us tonight, mate. We'll have a talk about your Models of Heroes thing near the end, if that's all right.
Yeah.
ICM do push their paints a bit more these days. Yeah. Barry, North Devon Model, how are you, my friend? What's your take?
Right. As I said before, Heller is a brand well worth saving because Heller is to France what Airfix is to Britain. So it's well worth saving. Only Heller kits I've ever done are Airfix reboxings. And so I've never gone for a specific Heller kit. But I view this with a certain amount of interest. Unfortunately, a lot of their stuff isn't my scale. So I can't really pass comment from that perspective. But they're obviously trying to save the brand and push it forward. So they have to be congratulated for that.
Exactly, but,
yeah. Other than that, I can't really comment because they don't produce stuff that I'd like to build.
Yeah. I think when Airfix released their starter sets, what I call the new generation of starter sets, there was a lot of pushback in them being in 1/43rd scale. Why didn't they do them at 1/32nd? I think it comes down to price point. And if you listen to the interview, I think unless he didn't say it out loud, or he did, because that interview was part of the conversation that I had with him. Because when I stopped the recording, we carried on talking a little bit. He said that they can bang out these 1/43rd scale vehicles for €10 each. What's the price of a starter set from Airfix? 14 with the paints and everything. So I think they found a price point that they're trying to work towards. And now Airfix's starter sets are brand new tools.
Yeah.
Straight off the bat, brand new tools. So those 1/43rd scale cars haven't cost them anything in development, but they're good enough to get them into a position of having them released as model sets. And I don't think you can call them starter sets. I think they are genuine model sets. That GTI at 1/24th, I think that will be a good gift set or a model set. But to get a price point of €10, for 50 euros, I would say £45, you can get yourself 5 cars that will probably take you 2 months to paint and build, especially with the paints in with them. So I think they're thinking outside the box on that. What's your thoughts, Joffy?
Those 43rd scale cars are very accurate. They might not be detailed, but as an accurate outline of a kit, they're very, very good.
Yeah.
I've built the Range Rover kit that they had from Revell and from Heller, and there's nothing inside it, just the seat and floor pan, but it's a very accurate kit. So I think they'll do well then.
Jim, Heller in America, were they big in America back in the day, or were they just very quiet?
Well, they were here, but yeah, they were quiet. As a kid, I never really gave them much attention just because they really didn't put anything out that flipped my switch to build. So I really don't have that much of an opinion, other than what struck me, like you, Mosler, you know, when you said when he was speaking about how their competition is Netflix. I listened to an interview yesterday of another model manufacturer and making announcements of what they're going to be doing, and they really didn't care if anybody did what they're doing, you know. So it's kind of like that same thing. You know, it's laissez-faire type thing. You know, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we don't. The competition isn't other model companies. It's we're just going to go forward, and you know, get people into doing what we've been doing for most of our lives.
Yeah, there's quite a predominant thing to say, wasn't it? You know, to say that you know that they see competition, not with amongst themselves, but you know. And I think I wrote an article in my book, and I was saying that we need to get people. We want to catch the elderly, or should I say, the close to retirement folks, before they get stuck on, to get them into scale modelling before they get stuck on the golf course. Do you know what I mean? You know, or some sort of pastime.
Golf.
Zinner's plays golf, don't you, Zinner's?
Yeah, I've had a go at golf before. It's my coach said I stand too close to the ball after I've hit it.
Yeah, I get that one.
Yeah.
Where would you put the quality of Hella kits compared with other brands? They went through. Well, you can clearly see that Glow 2B is the distributor that's bought this Hella brand. They were going to close it. The previous owners were just going to close it down. Do you want it? In 2019. So it just shows you, you know, how long it takes to develop yourself, or to take something by the horns. And you can say the same with when Hornby took on Airfix back in the day. It was a good 3 years before anything of substance came out. And then it was in 2009, I think it was, when they started to release a ton of kits. And I did my history of Airfix, or was it the three big changes of Airfix?
Yeah.
You know, they released over 100 tooling in the space of 4 or 5 years. But it all costs money, doesn't it? So what can we say? You know, I think Hella's in the right hands, because also if you're a distributor like Glow 2B, and remember they do Trumpeter, Meng or Meng, you know, Academy, you know, they are big importers. Even Airfix, you know, they've got a very good relationship with Hornby. Glow 2B have. They will probably have their posts, have their fingers on the post a little bit more, knowing what is selling from a variety of brands, not just their own. Is that not a good little thought? You know?
I think if you're going to take over a company, you at least want to know what its core market does. And Glow 2B, you know, they know what's going on. You know, they've clearly been successful over a long period of time. So, yeah, crack on. They're the perfect people to do it.
Yeah. If Hella's starter kit's price point gets more people back or new people into modelling, more power to them. Sometimes the cost of kits can put you off. I've always said that the starter kits, the starter sets from Airfix are very, very well priced. And you get good paints for them as well. I think Humbrol have turned a corner with their paints. I'm not saying this because you all think I'm an Airfix fanboy. I've got their Gen 3 paint. I thinned it with Tamiya X20A, and this is their sand. I thought the quality of, remember I pre-shaded it black and then highlighted with white, but the coverage on that is fantastic. So yeah, it's you know, this is the Saracen that I, you know, which is a JB Models one. I think Airfix released
that. Is sprayed, isn't it, Moss?
Pardon?
That is sprayed, isn't it?
That is all sprayed, yeah. I was blown. I think they've got it. I think they've sussed. The reason I'm saying I think is because they've got their own acrylic thinners.
Yeah.
And I've got an old bottle on the shelf. I thin that with Tamiya X20A, which when it comes, and I think everyone in the trade or in the hobby will know that if you've got a acrylic-based paint, not lacquer, acrylic-based paint, you don't use Mr. Leveling thinners or anything like that. You go back to Tamiya X20A, whether it's Vallejo, whether it's ICM, whether it's Humbrol, Hella paint. You tend to thin it down with either water or, if you're in the know, X20A. And I sprayed that through an airbrush, and it's very muchly self-leveled. Very impressed with it. So, those paints will be in the box as well.
I put the Matte 90 Humbrol acrylic paint onto the underside of an Airfix Firefly recently. Brush painted it on, and the finish is superb.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Very good.
One other thing he mentioned was they've redesigned the boxes. If I get it, well, I think everybody's had a Hella kit in the last 4 years, which I've had. Will have noticed that they've gone back to the flappy boxes.
So lids. Get in.
The only thing that I'm still unsure about is the fact they use tissue paper to separate the sprues. I think it would, and this is a modest, not a criticism. I think that would work if you didn't get so much, if the boxes were made to the size of the sprue.
Yeah, there's a lot of space in the boxes, isn't there?
There is a lot of space.
So a bit of movement in there, isn't there?
So
what's the quality of the sprues like, Moss?
The quality of the sprues are very good. I've done a video on it, but then you see that's what I mean. You've got a lot of space there for it to go, for it to spin around. But the it sounds a little bit tinny.
Yeah, but I don't think they've changed the quality of their plastic ever, have they? Because I've built a few Hella kits in the past, and all the plastic looks like that.
Is it? You can hear that. It's not the tin, but there's a little bit of flex to it.
Yeah, it's flexible. Yeah,
That's a soft white stuff.
Yeah, this is more white actually.
I've always found it very manageable and easy to work with, Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
And they've used some slide molded on this kit. You can see a few little marks on here where they've done the side molding. But you imagine that you've got, and again they've done like what Airfix do. They and others do. They have subsections to build. You build up your subsections and put it together. So you build. You got the chassis, then you have your tub on top. You got your seats. But as I said, the detail wise, I think it's very, very good. And also with all you rivet counters, or those who like a bit of a thing, the windscreen wipers are separate to the glass.
Shock horror.
So you have your glass, and they also give you the option. You can see inside there, they've got some. You can position the windscreen wipers left hand and right hand drive.
Oh, right.
The steering wheel.
The steering wheel, yeah, you can do left. So this one here, I've got the pictures somewhere. Let me get the pictures up. But yeah, you can. Where's he put it down here? You can. Where's it to? I think it's that one there. So hang on. If I share my screen, hopefully this will come up on screen. There you go. Let's do this one from there. Right. Let me just share my screen so you can all see this. Share screen. There you go. That's worked. So you can have. Come on up, you come. There you go. At the stage, you can have the bonnet open. They give you all the bits for the bonnet to be open. So that you got the look at the detail on that. You've got inner cards. The steering wheel is bog on. If you watch my video, you'll see it. But I wish I had these pictures before I did the video, but I didn't. This is what Tobias sent me. You know, so you can have 1/24 scale.
Oh, nice.
So it's called a 2-in-1 kit. So you can do left-hand drive and right-hand drive. But you know, whoever built this done a phenomenal job on this car. Fair play to them. So you go. That's the right-hand drive version.
Oh, nice.
So they give you the option of left-hand drive, and you can also drill the holes. Yeah, the 2005 one hell of an act in 1/24 scale. So you can do left-hand drive, right-hand drive. You can do there's even parts. If you look at the instructions, if I just come off this so I can show you in full screen. Let's remove that a minute. You've even given you the hinges and the safety bar. If I go big screen a minute, you can see that they give you the 2 hinges there for the bonnet.
Yeah.
And they give you the what they call it, the bonnet stick. What do they call that again?
The strut.
The strut.
The bonnet
stand. Yeah, the stand and strut. Come on, zoom in, you bugger.
Stick.
This camera's crap. Zoom in. There you go. So they give you all these parts with it as well. You can see how detailed that part is there. Highly detailed.
I'll tell you what, that is a lot more detailed than some Tamiya 24 scale cars.
Yeah.
Do they do a Renault Clio Mark 1 by any chance?
They do, I think, but it's an old kit, I think. Yeah. So yeah, you know, and if you want to put the wiper in, you have to drill a hole inside for the wipers.
Whether it's left or right, you mean?
Yeah, left or right. You have to drill a hole in the tub in the.
That's good.
Where's it to? There you go. So when you're doing the, it tells you to drill a hole. So if they give you 2 sides, you got left-hand drive, right-hand drive, and it tells you got to drill 1 hole in one way, 1 hole in the other, depending on whether you go left or right hand. So if you're going left-hand drive, sorry, right-hand drive, you would do that one there because it comes across, doesn't it? So it goes up towards you. The left-hand drive, you do the other side, but you leave the one in the middle alone because it's already got a hole in it, I think. And then there you go. You put your door cards in, and your wing mirrors and everything. But yeah, you've got choices on here on which way you do it, left or right-hand drive. So right at the very beginning, tells you straight. If you do it left-hand drive, you have you do it in red. If you do it right hand, you do it white. But everybody had a red Peugeot 205 or a black one. It was either red or black. But yeah, I honestly think that for 120, yeah, I do understand some people said that some of the parts look a bit soft. I'm not convinced by that argument. They haven't got the, and I don't know why this is such a pleading point that they don't have the manufacturer's make of the tire on the sidewall. I don't understand why that makes people shit themselves. Oh, you know, and to be honest with you, is it me, or is that one of the things they say? Oh, this one here has got some sort of markings on the. Is it really
it's neither here nor there, because when you think about some 18-year-old lad who's bought this to use as his little runaround, it's not going to have Dunlop 225 43s or whatever it is they put. It's going to have ongly dongly Japanese tires from wherever, because they were 30 quid a corner. That's what he's going to have. So what difference does it make that there's no brand name on the tire? Crying out loud.
That's what I mean.
Skidmaster 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
Them too. In fact, I just put a pair on my car.
Bandvolt remodes. That's what it is. Bandvolt remodes. Yeah.
That's what they call the tires on the bike.
Yeah.
Avon Skidmasters.
Yeah, that's after the curry, right?
Yeah.
17-inch sleepless.
As I said, it's was it Hella kits are rare here in the States by my experience. Yeah, I think, but they are aiming for the States though, John. Tobias said, because I thought Tobias was very, very good. He came across knowledgeable on the brand, even though I think he's business development for Hella.
Yeah.
Glow 2B, sorry, and Hella is not. I would say it's a disservice for me to say it's a bolt-on. It's not. It's like you hear of these brands that use the. What I'm trying to make it sound like they're distributing other people's kits, but they've got their own toy to play with, and I'm sure that, with their experience of knowing what Trumpeter are doing, Meng are doing, Academy, and all the Chinese brands that go through, and Airfix, and probably Revell going through Glow 2B, they will have their fingers on the pulse of knowing what is a substantial market for them to go for. But I'm surprised, Jim, that you weren't interested in that Hawkeye from Hella.
Wrong size.
It needs to be bigger for Jim.
Yeah. It's 112 or something.
I'm a scale snob. What can I say? But I've got a buddy that was all over it. He loves 72nd scale.
Yeah.
He was all about it.
That'd be a size 72nd still, though, wouldn't it, Jim?
What's that, John?
Still be a pretty sizable kit, even in 72nd, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Tires is a personal thing. I'd have loved proper Michelins in the box, but I need the 1.6 GTI wheels anyway, so aftermarket it is. I just don't understand why people, I'm pretty sure that if Airfix put Bridges on that Stolly, they would say, oh, it has to be Michelin, or it has to be Dunlop, or it has to be Goodyear. No, they all, you've got to pick your battles wisely, haven't you? Do you know what I mean in some of these things? So,
pointless anyway, because the Army never uses standard tyre.
No.
Yeah.
I know that because I was a vehicle mechanic in the Army.
Yeah, you got the beard to prove it, mate. Because it's cold outside working on that concrete, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. So I built the Tamiya Lotus 79 F1 car, no Goodyear markings on the tyres, whereas the Tarp 34. Yeah, I don't think it's not the winner that people expect it to be. I just think they look at something and think that's a really good kit. We've got to find something wrong with it. Oh, they haven't put such and such on something. Oh, I get all that. What guys' favourite model companies? Yeah, all sorts, mate. We were a fan of Tamiya, Airfix, Revell. Some more Airfix, some more Revell, some more Hella, some more Edard. And if you really have got, if you really want a passion project, then you do a mini craft or a Mr. Craft kit.
Can I put something out there, Moss?
Yeah, of course you can, mate.
Can I just ask all the viewers, if you had licensed rubber tyres on a car kit, would you be prepared to pay an extra tenner for the kit? Because that's probably how much it would cost.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We've had this discussion before, haven't we?
We have had this discussion before, but we never really got much of an answer back, did we?
No. It's like all these people going on about, Tamiya need to really re-release their Formula One cars, and everybody spunks over it thinking, oh yeah, they released it, but all the decals have got no mention of cigars or cigarettes on them now. So you do a Johnny Player special from Tamiya, there won't be Johnny Player special on the box.
Correct.
So
to be honest though, with the licensing, there's other brands and smaller cottage industries that be able to do that. I mean, I think it's more the case what most people want is actually the vehicle itself. So the classic one is in Tamiya is the 112 FW14B.
Yes,
because that only ever got released once, so people can go get the camel logo, etc., but they haven't got the chassis to work with. I think that's the bit that people want.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that people don't shout about it, about Tamiya not releasing it in the correct decal scheme, or hasn't got the right logos on it. That was my point, and I think it's a good one. So yeah.
So what would happen? Let's say, so Tamiya wants to do the big 12 scale FW14B, and they're going to release it. And guess what? What are they going to do for box art? They can't use any of the livery. They can't use any of the logos. They can't use the title of the car. So how are they going to say, "Oh, this is a Williams"? Okay, they could say maybe, but then maybe not. They'd have to pay a license to Williams. How does all that work? How does the box art work? You're not going to get decals. Yeah, sure, a lot of people want that kit and they would buy the kit, but how does Tamiya put that product out there? Oh, here's the blue and white and yellow car from the 1970s. It's like you can't use the word Jeep, but it's a military utility vehicle. You can kind of get away with it in armor, but when it's so tight in F1, they're kind of hosed there.
It's like Airfix couldn't use the Opel Blitz, so they had to go pack 40 in truck.
Yes. Well, we had all this anyway, didn't we? You have Airfix, and this is what I kind of pisses me off a little bit about Gecko. They license the Land Rover name. They pay the licensing in that starter set. That starter set, I think, is 16 quid. You've got, and then you've got Gecko who release this, generic name for it. It's clearly a Land Rover,
right?
And they can sell it cheaper. So it's the Austin K2 ambulance.
So obvious what it was.
Yeah, they should have trademarked the Queen Elizabeth in it. That's what they should have done. And then really, but nobody would fight them. So what did Airfix do when they released their was it 408 truck, whatever it was called? The British. So instead of putting Austin truck, they put World War II British Army 30 underweight 4x2 GS truck on the box, just like what Gecko would do. Does it take away from what you're building? No.
But it's
like
the two-seaters. It's like the two-seater Spitfire. It's got the colours that was used in the film Back to Britain, but hardly any mention of it.
Exactly. I think you've got to play the game, but until these companies go after those other companies, but because Airfix is in this country and they've got a reputation, I think they'll be more scared. But when you've got other companies undercutting, who's to say that every time they put, Esso or Bugatti on a box, that they've had to pay out £2? I don't know what it is. I wouldn't even dream of asking Dale. But he has said openly that they paid good money to have Austin K, the Austin K2Y ambulance. They paid good money for that, and the very next week you had Gecko there bringing out an ambulance, World War II ambulance. In that kick in the teeth, and that affects us as scale modelers as well.
Yeah.
And as you say, is it? You could put in good beer on the side of a wheel and then just use your little knife and scrub out the beer bit and make that into a year. Do you know what I mean? It's not difficult. But yeah, it is one of them. Mike, are you a Hella fanboy? Have you built a Hella in the past?
I haven't built one yet. A subscriber sent me the Petit Gris. It's that one.
That's the one that I built, yeah.
That looks nice.
So I'm looking forward to building that one.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, I did a video on mine. I chipped it out. I made it look, because when I presented it to my dad the first time, he said that is exactly how we used to drive those tractors. He said the look of it, the oil everywhere, used to get diesel burn from the exhaust. I used to drive a David Brown 990, 880 Selectomatic, sorry, and the exhaust used to burn my face because it was close. That's old school. But yeah, you'll honestly make that. The only, unless they change the instructions, there's a little bit of just look at the front axle. Just if you watch my video, I explain in the video where there's an error on the front axle. It's backwards in the instructions. But watch my video and I explain all that in the video. But there was when I sent the instructions off with Luke to build his, I gave him my instructions. Just explained where I had found the errors of the instructions. So
one thing's found cool.
Sorry, mate. Carry on.
One thing's found cool as well is when I was looking at it, I recognised the tractor, and I couldn't figure out why. And then next minute, the guy up the road drove his past the house.
Yeah.
So there's one at the end of the street.
Those tractors were the first to use PTO, and I think where Hella needs to make some, if they want to really push that tractor to the next level, is to do all the implements with it. I think there was over 150 different implements. You could whack anything on the back of that. People were cutting wood. They had manufactured stuff to have blades on it. Yeah, balers. You could, unless somebody wants to do it in 3D print, and do the STL files. But there is so much you can do with that, and basically, that tractor brought us out of the war.
Yeah.
I remember they were all petrol at first. They weren't diesel. And my friend, or my father's friend, had one of the original 4x4s. I've only ever seen one. I've never seen the second one. But yeah, it's an incredible tractor. ACF Nugget says, CCC, tobacco advertisers mostly banned, even for scale model kits. Airfix Model World magazine couldn't even have a build of one with aftermarket decals on it. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it is one of them. Right, it's 9:15. We better do our roundup of model company model shows that are coming up for the next 12 months. Remember, if you have a model show, you want to advertise it on here, email it to me, and we will put it on this video. And I have been putting the video out as a reel as well on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else. So 2 minutes half. It's quite a few this week. So enjoy. There you are. Another load of model shows added this week, and there'll be some more added on next week. As I said, if you want your model show advertised here on Airfix and Chill, and I do put that video out, I edit it down into a vertical. Please contact me here, and I will add it or on Discord, and I will put it up on the reel. And we want to try. I think 2026 is a really good year for model shows. I wanted to go to Bolton, but unfortunately, it's on the same day as the Cardiff one, and I always go to the Cardiff one. I've been there since they inaugurated it, so it's a really good model show. So, and I did notice that the Blue Lamp has now moved from a Saturday to a Sunday. Whoopee! So hopefully I'll be able to head up to Birmingham for that one as well. I may get in touch with Sully actually and see if he would like to do a table with me, so we can have a little table there. Me and Sully at that model show. That'd be a bit of fun. Miss My Ferguson TEF20. Remember starting it with a button on the right, and you held in your ankle or start it with a gear stick, no keys. That's right. When I drove tractors originally, I used to use the momentum of the clutch pedal to get me onto the seat, and then I used to jump off the seat to hit the brake, because everything was all hand accelerator. You had an accelerator stick on just underneath the wheel. That's the one I drove, and also on the David Brown 880. That'd be a good one for you to do, FX. If you want to do a tractor, do the old David Brown 990, the 880, because you could do that as 3 different schemes. You could have one which was the 880 with the smaller wheels on the front, do the 990 with the Selectomatic with the big wheels on the front as well as the back, and also have it with a cab, which only the rich people in our town had the David Brown with the cab on it. So, but yeah, brilliant. Okay, so it's 9:20. Any questions you would like me to send to Hella? Please go on Discord. There's a link, I think, in the video in the description of this video. I have changed the Discord. I'm going to be using Discord a lot more now for people to contact me on, because I was getting messages from Facebook, Gmail, the whole shebang, and I unfortunately was missing messages and stuff. So the best way now is to contact me through there. And if you are a channel member, you'll be put in the members group, and you've got basically 24 access to me. So if you want to speak to me about something, you can do through Discord. That's the new platform I'm using. And there's also an Airfix and Chill section in Discord as well. So if you want to talk about Airfix and Chill after the event, you can go and talk on there as well. But I prefer you to put them in the comments as well, because that helps with the views. I want to we'll go back to Helen in a little bit, but we want to speak to Mike tonight. Mike's from Bearded Veteran Creates. Nice to see you, my friend. I met Mike at Telford this year while he was walking around with Gary from Gary Stuff, which was great to see. You are doing a fundraiser for Models for Heroes, I believe. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so as we all know, especially in the UK modelling area, a lot of people donate kits to Models for Heroes, which is fantastic. What they don't get a lot of donations of, though, is tools. And each year they spend nearly £4,000 a year just on tools. So like your snips, your glues and things like that, to send out to veterans and first responders. So last year, the channel members decided they wanted to do a little bit of a fundraiser for them. And we managed to raise £1,410, which paid for about a third of their tools for this year. So we're doing it again this month, running it up till the 1st of December.
Fantastic. Have you got anything? Have you got anything live at all on website or anything, or I can just jump and have a look at? Or actually,
I did an interview last night with Caroline Childs, who's the
Mrs. Models for Heroes. Yes, very
Mrs.
good.
Grand Fromage.
Yeah, the power behind the throne. Have you got a link at all? You have, haven't you? You've got a PayPal link.
I sent it. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'll do is I will put that here now in the comments box in the chat. I'll if I remember, I'll add that to the comments on this after the show as well. How much are you looking to raise this year?
Well, we raised, like I said, we raised £1,410 this year. We're on 440 at the minute. We're hoping to maybe at least raise the same amount as last year, but hopefully about £1,500.
Brilliant. Is it just donations, or monetary donations, or are you accepting donations of tools as well?
I can only accept monetary donations, but M4H do accept donations of tools.
Okay, well, that's brilliant. Are you doing any more live streams on this in the next few weeks?
I'm trying to arrange to speak to some of the other beneficiaries, because I'm a beneficiary as well.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I've been with them for about 3 years.
Okay.
So I'd like to speak, especially to beneficiaries that are new, like within the last 12 months, so that we can speak to them about their experience and how it's changed them in certainly in the last 12 months.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, we'll definitely be plugging that on here for sure. There is a link in the PayPal there, so if you want to donate to this challenge, this fundraiser, there is a link there that you can click on and hopefully find a few pennies there down the back of the sofa that you could donate to the tools for Models for Heroes. Then please do. I know that when Malcolm was last on, he did have a fundraiser where you can actually buy tools from Amazon. I think that's still live, which is a great way if you want to do that. They've actually got links on Amazon where you can buy the tools, sprue cutters, brushes. I think I sent them up about 200 brushes because I bought a job lot of, I bought this man who died and his wife, and we paid fair value for it. But one of the things I didn't realize I was getting was all of his supplies and crumbs, the brushes. He must have had a link with Revell or somewhere, because in this box there was about 200 of one size of brush, which will be perfect for use with a starter set. So I sent them up. There's no way I was going to use them all, so I sent them up there. So please do. You're from Wales, are you? Do you live in Wales?
Yeah, I'm North Wales.
Oh, so will you be coming down to Maffa for the Cardiff show? Was that too far away? Was Bolton closer?
I'd love to, but it's 4.5 hour drive each way.
What, in Wales?
Yeah, because there's no motorways in Wales except in the M4, is there?
Oh yeah,
and it's all 20 mile an hour now.
Yeah, is it all 20 mile an hour? Is it?
Anywhere, most places that used to be 30, so anywhere that's got houses on the line the streets or anything is 20 mile an hour.
Yeah,
you've got the A55.
But that only goes across east to west, across the north.
It doesn't go north south.
It doesn't go south.
I was going to say, you'd have to skip back into England, wouldn't you, and then drive back down the M.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. Unless you drive all down, say, down the coast road past Fishguard and things like that.
Wow.
Or down the country roads.
Get done for speeding on a moped.
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong would never have won the Tour. That's why he won the Tour de France in Wales, isn't it? You know.
What a modern age we live in.
Yeah. They're slowly reverting them back now because they're realizing that the whole, it's better for the environment thing was a load of rubbish because cars aren't designed to run at 20 mile an hour.
No, exactly.
No, you'd just be stuck in second gear the whole time, would you not? Just sort of revving your engine up.
I think that
more fuel.
when I did my speed awareness course, there was two things that I came away with knowing that was that if it's in a 30, stick it in third. If it's a 40, leave it in fourth. I think that was one of the best things I've ever been taught. I never got taught that when I learned to drive 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And the other thing was dual carriageway. When is it a dual carriageway? They had this picture of 4 lanes and they had this white line down the middle. And they said, if it's paint, it ain't. It's got to have a physical barrier. I was like, well, I never knew that. So how it all changes. But yeah, you're right. There's 20. I remember it, I think these people, where I'm from, there was they were cutting off roads and like blocking off roads in the middle so that people couldn't drive straight through. Then they realized that people were dying because you had to go all the way around the houses to get to a certain place because they blocked the road off.
Yeah.
And the ambulances couldn't get there quick enough. They said, "Wow, this is getting a bit silly now." So they ended up opening up the roads again, and now the traffic ain't so bad. So there's always somebody in there. So yeah.
What they found now is that most people don't stick to it, especially in North Wales, because when they brought it in, North Wales police said because 20 mile an hour is such a difficult speed to keep a car out, especially going up and down hills.
Yeah,
they're going to do like 20% plus 10 or something like that, or whatever it is, 10% plus 2.
Yeah.
So they won't prosecute unless you go over 26 miles an hour.
Oh.
And everyone's got digital speedos now, so we all just do 25.
Yeah.
Do you want to laugh? Do you want to laugh? I got done for speeding in a Reliant 3-wheeler. That was 2005.
Wow.
And when they told him, he said, "Yippee!"
Yeah. I refused to have the points taken off the license because it's a badge of honour.
What the land speed record for it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in Plymouth. They got a dual carriageway, but they got a 30 mile an hour speed limit on it, and I was doing 40.
And it's funny.
I don't tell people that bit.
My friend was in the police force, and his father got caught by one of these mobile speed traps, and because he was in the police force, he knew the guy, the civilian who run that van, and he was able to get the picture of his father behind the wheel getting clocked, and he gave it to him for his 50th birthday. This picture in a frame of him. I think the picture got put on fire at the end of the night. He was angry about it.
I can tell a brief story about anybody who lives in Dorset will know Cerne Abbas, and there's a ford where a river goes through a road type of thing. It's called Cerne Abbas Water Splash, and as with all of these water splashes, there's a bit where the car can travel through, and then there's a little bridge that people can walk through. And my mate was a service engineer for a local domestic appliance company, and I used to work there as well. But he came in rather shamefaced one morning to announce that he'd been done for careless driving. And what he'd done is driven through the Cerne Abbas water splash about 40 odd years ago. And he would never have been prosecuted but for the fact that somebody was taking a picture of their family at the water splash. And there's this absolutely marvellous picture of this van going through and the sun shining in through the window and this bloody great wave going over this bridge, all going like this. And this bloke at the steering wheel like this with this big smile on his face.
Yeah, I can imagine.
25 years later, he still had the picture and he keeps it, as you say, a badge of honour. And he keeps it. It's brilliant. Absolutely marvellous.
Craig Jules has said, John, congratulations on placing second in the Black Rifles Model Works Tamiya build. Who was that?
Well done, John.
Yeah. Is that not on screen? Is that one of us, or is he just saying that to somebody in the chat?
I didn't realize that, Craig. Oh,
it's you, John.
I think it is John Alec. Yeah, hang on. I'll check the group.
Oh. It's not me because I didn't build one.
Thanks for letting me know.
Dan Edmonds.
My name's not John.
I'll look it up later. Yeah, nice.
Dan Edmonds said that I just bought the BMAX 112 McLaren MP4 with the decal set. All the sponsors are there in decals, just split up. So we have Goody and Ear in 2 decals. That's a good way of saying that. One question. Okay, yeah. James Carnahan, I think you answered him, Barry. Could you ask the old timers on the panel about where we were chatting about earlier, which was in the Discord group?
Yes, right.
Functional undercarriage on the Airfax. There was a model that had functioning stuff, but I don't think it was Airfix because I've had a little look, but I think you answered the question right.
Yeah, I built the first tall Lancaster a couple of years ago and everything's fit. There's no Bombay at all. No. I got the second tool in the stash and that's got an open Bombay. But the only
Yeah.
one that I know of that had functioning opening and closing doors on the Bombay was the B-29 Super Fortress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
That
it had
is,
retractable undercarriage as well.
functional undercarriage as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Alt 92's just said Rebel 1970s Lank had it.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? It was Revell. Yeah. You're quite right there. You're quite right. Out's the man. Yeah, he's absolutely spot on there. The 1970s Revell Dan Buster Lank had it. Where you, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, thanks for that, mate. I can, yeah, the Revell 72nd Lancaster had working doors. So that was what it was. It wasn't Airfix, it was Revell. But it was around that time, you're quite right, 1970s. But yeah, you get confused sometimes, don't you, when you see all these kits coming out? You think, oh, who did that? And you mention, oh, it's somebody else. But I just like to say that, you know, if you see what, you know, I don't think manufacturers, I think manufacturers now have got it sussed on how kits go together. A lot of them.
Yeah.
The problem you've got is that it's the research that goes into it. I think, you know, I think we've got to the point now where we are where a lot, and I'm kind of it as well. We get a little bit picky on what we see on a model kit these days, and sometimes you just got to let it lie. Sometimes, but fortunately, I've not had anybody say, unless I haven't been on Bit Model this week, because that's where I normally see it. Not many mistakes have been made on that BF 109 from Airfix. I think people are pretty impressed with the detail on there so far, but you know, nobody's built it yet. But looking at what I've seen, it's pretty well spot on, because the guys behind it are researching it well. And Tobias, I think he said in the interview that, you know, they've released stuff and somebody's pointed out errors on those kits, and it is a bit sad when that happens, but sometimes you just got to run with it. Once it's ordered everything, there's nothing you can do unless they retool it or something. Because there's a lot of talk about whether there was a radio in the Stolly. Was there a radio in the cab of the Stolly? And somebody has sent me pics, because I questioned it, because other people have, and somebody had sent me a picture of a Stolly with that radio in it. So it's difficult, isn't it? You just got to.
It depends who had the Stolly, because where I was in Germany, I was in the signals, and right next door was the artillery, and they had no radios in theirs. The radios were all in Land Rovers.
Were they in yours?
It depends on what role they're fitted for.
Yeah,
it's like with the Land Rovers, you had fitted for radio Land Rovers and just normal Land Rovers.
Yeah, because where I was, the signals had FFR Rovers.
Yeah,
and then you had the ones that the sergeant majors and officers went around, and they had nothing.
Yeah,
the artillery next door to us, they had bog standard Stollies. They didn't even have the coming across water stuff on them, whatever it's called. I can't remember. All got taken off.
The amphibious.
Yeah, that's the one. Amphibious gear.
Yeah,
didn't even have that.
Well, the Remy one had crane on the back and that as well, didn't it?
Yeah, they had a 234 with a crane on the back.
Yeah,
armored one.
Yeah, fair enough.
No one makes models of it
yet.
Yeah, no FFR Rovers.
Oh, there is an FFR Rover. Hobby Boss do it.
Did you do the radios on the inside?
They haven't done the radios in the inside, but you'd be able to put them in there.
Oh, you want
yeah,
because it's the hard top 110 kit.
No, we didn't have the hard top ones. We had the soft tops.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for Airfix. I bought the book ready in case Airfix release this one this year. Scorpion Scimitar. I'm pretty sure that's got to be on the list somewhere. But
Gary Evans would be a good one to speak to about that, because they use them in the Falklands in the RAF regiments.
Yeah,
we've got a base up in the northeast of England called Allenbrook Barracks, and they've got a Scorpion as a gate guard. It's a tiny little tank.
It's got an E-type Jag engine in them.
Yeah.
It's the only one that would fit. They had to fit it up right. The only one that would fit.
Well, Eddie Hall drives one of them, doesn't he? He's got one of his own.
He's
Someone's
got
got
yeah,
one on the road, haven't they?
yeah, he's got it on
I've
the
seen a
road.
video of it. They were taking it to a garage to fill it up with fuel, and it took them 25 minutes to find the filler cap.
Yeah.
They couldn't find the filler cap on it.
He does all sorts with it, doesn't he? He did. He used it as an Uber car and all sorts.
Did he?
Yeah. On the video. That was quite funny.
The bloke at the road when he first got his Tesla, his wife was in the garage for an hour looking for her filler cap on her Tesla. That was quite funny as well. Nigel, I've done the Hobby Boss 110 kit and converted it to a 90.
It's a nice kit.
Yeah, there's some good kits. I must speak to Jadlam about that Archer artillery system that they've got from Hobby Boss. I've got to get one of them and have a look and get that built. Because I like commercial vehicles, and it's breaking my heart a little bit that Zvezda are bringing out, a heavy duty dumper, 90-ton dumper. I'd love to do the Euclid R90 or the Caterpillar 770, I think it is D. But nobody does commercial stuff. But that artillery is based on the Volvo A40 articulated A40, but you can't change it to a commercial one because the cab's very different and the length of it is so much longer than what it should be.
Yeah,
it extended the chassis on the back, but to put a tipper on there and make that into
but that could be part of your scratch build competition for the Telford next year, can't it? You'll just basically use probably one rear axle, and that will be it.
Yeah, that's it. Let's cut it down to size, get a 3D printed tipper on it, and you'll be laughing. But the cab's totally different. The cab is massive, but it's
Scratch
it's a shame.
Scratch build it.
So
how did you get on with yours, by the way? Did you mention last week your Jaguar GR90?
Yeah, the GR1. It did not place. Bless it. It's it didn't get anything. So it was, sadly. I know it was. It lost to probably I know the person who won the particular section I entered in, and it did lose to the ugliest aircraft ever. It was this round blob thing from the 60s. It just looks horrific. Lovely paint job. The model had been done wonderful, but it didn't win anything. But it did get a nice little smile off Dale, and I don't know if it was a good smile or a bad smile.
I've got an Airfix patch you can have. It's an award. I can give you one of them somewhere around here. I can do that. Yeah, it was good. Just nipping back to Hella very, very quickly. Is there anything that in the is Simon back here? Oh, Simon's back in. That's good. There he is. Where is he? We keep dropping Simon. We'll have to have a chat with him after and find out why.
Probably just having internet issues or something.
Yeah.
The hamster has stopped running.
So, if there was a kit that you would love Hella to re-release, which one would it be? I know it just all. There he is. He's back in the room. Listen, Simon, in or out? Because every time you open that door, the heat comes out. Do you know what I mean? It's getting cold in here now, Simon. In and out, in and out. What's up, Simon? Have you got bad internet?
I don't know. The weather keeps playing up here.
Oh, say that gives. You'll say, put some food in its bowl, like while he's on the wheel. Yeah. Is there any Hella kits of the past that you would love to see re-released again? Anyone here?
136.
Jim, have you got one? Wrong scale for you, isn't it?
No, I couldn't tell you one kit that they did. I'm sorry. I can't remember that far back.
Oh God, it's got to be one of the ships.
Yeah,
one of the 400 scale ships. Probably the Grosh Bay.
That's a good shout. Did they ever do the Sharn horse in 1400?
Yeah, Airfix reboxed it. Sharn horse Eisenhower.
Yeah, I think they did. They did a whole range because also when Airfix did the, oh God, what did they call it? U-boat and surface crew. That was all Hella toolings in 1/400th.
Yeah.
I mean,
Grease
they did
Marine
Bismarck, Turpits.
Yeah.
The one that I would
Tirpitz
quite like.
Bismarck, Scharnhorst Gneisenau, KGV Prince of Wales, HMS Hood. That was some of them. But
No, they did quite a
them.
few.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that I personally would like them to release again was some of the specifically French ships. So, like, they did a cruiser called Colbert, which was essentially, I want to say, like a 1930s hull, but again, with all things French, it sort of was sitting in a port when the Germans turned up, and then didn't do much for 5 years. And then after the war, they decided to put some German and French armament on it, and then sort of pushed it back out.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be quite good, sort of like the specifically French stuff. But again, if they wouldn't mind just adjusting the tooling slightly to make it bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did Jean d'Arc, they did Admiral Scheer. They have done a lot, but they've done it in their, of course, their very weird and wonderful French scale of 1/400. But they have done a lot in that scale. Schnell boats, redoubtable submarines, and yeah, it's sort of a bit forgotten, bless them.
Yeah,
but
no, just that when in Discord somebody's mentioned, I like to see the Scharnhorst. There it is. There's the one. 1970, but there's a lot of tooling. There's a lot here. When was that last released? 2012. That one was released. Yeah, Airfix did it in 2005 in 1/400 scale. But 1970, but they did a hell of a lot though. If you actually look,
they've done a lot 400s kit. So they actually, I want to say they probably had more 400 kits out at that in the early sort of 70s to probably the 90s before 350th became a thing.
Yeah, 41 they've got in 1/400.
Yeah, they've got a big back catalogue. But again, since 350 came along, the 400th has just sort of been pushed to one side. Apart from those specific subjects you can only get in them, be it the Charles de Gaulle, the Clemenceau, and I want to say. Gary Evans is going to hate me, but one of the Colossus classes, which is the Aramshons, his dad served on, and they do the French kit and they do the British, which might even be HMS Colossus. And they do a space shuttle for you. There you go.
Yeah, the last one that they did was 20 years ago. Is it Frigate Lafayette? Yeah.
Lafayette, yeah.
That's
the goal.
Yeah,
I've got it.
Yeah,
doesn't that look a little bit like? Doesn't that look like a little bit of the Type
45?
Look to it, hasn't it?
No, because I'm building.
No,
it's way too flat on the sides. The Type 45 is.
I mean, the Type 45 is very much geometrical like that. However, if I was going to be a sado, I'd go, no, it doesn't look anything like it. However, if I was going, does it roughly look the same? I go, yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
If you squint.
I guess they all
squint.
do.
If you squint.
I mean, if you
squint at it, it does tend to say ooh la la back to you, so you know it's French.
Yeah.
Ooh la la, oui. Sure.
Apparently, we're up to 440 now, mate, on that PayPal for those who have donated today. So done, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
I will donate. I'm not going to do what I did last time because it cost me a bloody fortune when Malcolm was on. Because like YouTube took was it 60-40, wasn't it, or something like 40%? Because I think we got to like about 150 quid, and I said that's all right, I'll put the extra 50 quid on top.
Yeah.
And then when I went to pay for it, it cost me like 100 quid because all we got was about 98 pounds of it, like so I ended up cost me a bit of money, that did. So but I will donate again, definitely, but I'm not going to do it on here. You can, if you want to donate the PayPal. I think I'll do that next time because YouTube take so much money. But yeah, the Charles de Gaulle was a 2002 tooling, but that's a lovely looking kit. Can you put 1/400 scale on your table?
Yeah, you can do. I've even got the kit to do, and it's sort of sitting in a box on top of a wardrobe, hoping one day someone will do it in 350th. But again, I do have it in the 400th to do because I like French ships. I like French ship design. Certainly in the Cold War, they don't look terrible.
No.
You know,
I have a question for Ben. You know, aircraft modelers quite often sit there going, yeah, pretending the plane's flying, messing around. Do you do the same with ship in your bath?
I don't have a bath anymore, so no. Though I did as a small child, and I want to say I think it was Revel or Airfix did the baby Titanic.
Yeah.
About 1200, whatever scale. I did
Revel,
chop it in half as a child
112.
once with a pair of pliers and heated it, and then sunk it multiple times in the bathroom. Probably more than that was healthy, and I enjoyed it. I think it was about 5 or 6 at the time. But yeah,
Well,
I've had that little thing, when I was a child.
Did you have like the necklace and then find that so that didn't fall in the water, kept the necklace?
No, I wasn't wearing a necklace. I'm sorry to disappoint. Though I did do what was it? It wasn't in a bath. It was in a lake. We did blow up a rather large model with pyrotechnics.
Nice.
Yeah.
No fish were harmed, we reckon.
What's
What's
the story behind this one then, Ben? The Arrow Manches and the HMS.
So Colossus, that was a British class of ship, and I believe after the war, because again the French didn't have much, we gave them the ship to operate. So after the war, I think the Colossus class, I want to say, was very popular, being sold off. So basically, X stock the Navy didn't need to different countries. I want to say we sold one to the Canadians, one to the Dutch, one to the Argentinians, and also I think the Australians. So
the Arrow module was we gave one to France,
version.
Then did we?
Yeah,
we sold it to France. Yeah, the Arrow module is the French one.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we did, because we destroyed their fleet in World War II, so they didn't have much of a fleet, did they?
Yeah, that's always been a bit of a sort of sticking point. The fact that we did sink most of their navy in North Africa, but we don't talk about that. It's a bit like the Germans. I think after the war, the French after the war, actually used quite a lot of German aircraft, which I think included Junkers 88s, Heisler Storch they rebuilt, Me-410s, and even possibly some of the heavy bombers. But the French say they didn't. They rebuilt it as French license built stuff. It's a bit like the Panther tank. No, not the Panther. King Tiger. The French came away with a design called, I think, the ARL-44, which when you look at it, just looks like a dodgy French version of a Tiger, because essentially that's what it was.
Well, there you go. A bit of history there for you folks.
No, they even stuck a pair of engines. Even stuck a pair of engines on the Heinkel HE-177. Once had the 4 engines and 4 props on it, apparently it flew quite well.
Yeah. The French made something better, but the wiring was a bit dodgy as per normal.
Yeah, built by Peugeot.
The RG's bought the Dutch one, so the Dutch have got one.
There we go.
So you're right. Just quickly, you have a QE arriving tomorrow, Ben. Apparently, so
nice.
Thank you, Nigel. You are a star.
Brilliant. So there you are. Right, folks, it's 8 minutes to. If you've got any questions, quickly put them in the chat, else we will probably disembark. But yeah, I think the 1/400 scale, I can't see them. These are all new tools, obviously, but I was wondering if they got any coming out this year. I'm just going to quick look down, and then let's go for Reeboks change parts, Reeboks unknown, Reeboks change decals for 2020 till now. Oh, so they have done some then.
They have done some, but they've been, I think, European only releases.
Yeah.
So they haven't bought them across here. I want to say they did the Lafayette and maybe a bundle version.
That's it there. That's the one they've got here. The starter. They call it a starter kit.
Yeah, but they also put some toolings together of, I want to say, the Clemenceau and some support ships in that sort of new style boxing. There you go, Task Force.
Battalion.
Task Force,
that's it there, the battalion, that one. Task Force Battalion one. That's got about 3 ships in it, hasn't it?
It has, yes.
Wow. So there's quite a bit there to look at. Yeah, they've done the Charles de Gaulle Task Force, Bismarck and Tirpitz in 1/400 scale. But you got me looking at that one. I'd quite like to look at that Lefay one. That looks quite good, that one. Anybody built it in the chat? Let me know if you built it in the chat. Is it worth building? Let me know in the chat below. Ben's waiting for the day we get the Ohio tanker from OP Pedestal. What's that?
Operation Pedestal.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think there, Ohio tanker.
Was it Malta? It got sent
Yeah.
to, and
Yeah, I
only
think
just
so.
made it had to be supported by a couple of other ships before it broke up.
Oh, the
Yes.
oiler. Yeah.
Yeah, the oiler. Yeah, the SS Ohio. I'll be honest, tankers don't really float my boat.
Hey,
Hey, thank you.
Tankers don't float on Torrey Canyon.
No, I know.
Sorry,
Um,
Canyon
yeah.
would be good. Yeah.
So,
That would have been a
but,
good
yeah.
hit to set fire to.
Indeed.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
fair, if that tooling was a good fit, and they've only released it once since 2003 and then in 2012, I presume the tooling's going to be absolutely mint condition, really. If it's only had 5
I
releases.
mean, Hello ships go together relatively well. They've never
Yeah.
they've never been terrible.
Mm.
And I mean, the Lafayette, it's quite boxy, so I would suspect it would build fairly well.
Have you got one?
Um,
Have you got one? Have you?
I haven't got a Lafayette class, no, but I've got a similar one, which is more modern. It's a Horizon class that the Italians and the French use, which is
Does
done
it
by
come with the
Tampon.
helicopter? Does it come with the helicopter?
Yeah, it should do. I would think it does. I mean, if they've got it on the box art, in theory, it should have it.
We can't say that now. That's not fair.
Okay, so I'll take that back. The French may or may not include it. Please check. Subject to what was it? Subject to details and everything.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh,
I do
let's see if
get
it's
that.
in the download.
I don't know. Has it got the download here? Oh, it's got the downloads for the instructions. Does the helicopter? Does it have a sprue of it? No. Can't see helicopter. It would be the last thing to build, wouldn't it? Be the helicopter.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, it does have a helicopter. Yeah, it does. It's a 1-part helicopter.
There you go.
Hang on, let me just share this tab instead. So it does have a helicopter in it. Looks like 1 part.
Yeah.
Or 2 parts. You got the rotors and you got the tail on the back, like, you know. Oh,
Yeah,
It's got 2 fuselage halves as well, Moss.
Isn't that a crap way of doing it, man? Honestly,
It's
yeah.
the French.
I honestly have always said that instructions should be read clockwise. So that one here,
Nice
that bit where the helicopter's in 2 parts, should be on the left-hand side. Then you work your way around. I think that's the
but Moz, in France they drive on the right, so they read on the right side of the page and move to the left.
Yeah.
Bloody French.
Looking at the prices, Moz, it's about 24 quid.
Do you know,
Yeah,
that ain't bad, you know, is it?
Yeah.
24 quid for how many steps is it? 18, 19 steps. So yeah, quite. There's the was it? How many sprues is it? Or is it 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues? Looks like.
And probably
And
2
then
whole
you've
pieces, yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite a simple little build, really. 90 pieces. So
there you go.
know, I like the way they've got your flash service here, and they're giving you options here in all the different languages on how to get the spare parts. So yeah, so hopefully I'll see if Jadlam's got one, and I'll see if I can get one. Just have a little look inside. But I've spoken, you know, as I said, Tobias was absolutely fantastic. I want to thank him again on behalf of Airfix and Chill team. And he said that he would love to come back on and do a proper interview where you can ask him questions and stuff. It was just one of them. I got the phone call this morning saying, "Oh, do you want to contact these?" You know, so I said, "Yeah, send them along." And we had about a 10 email bounce saying, "What sort of time could you do it?" And I had an appointment at 4 o'clock to go to. So he said, "I'm in traffic at the moment. I'll get home and I'll get back to the office and I'll do a live stream and ask some questions." I said, "Yeah, we'll definitely do that." So thank you so much for that. Just one thing I want to put out there: Brooks Models, again, 10% minimum spend on £15 if you use the code MOZ10, and if you there's a 20% discount if you use MOZ20 if you spend over 50 quid, and they will discount anything that's currently on sale as well, but this does not include the postage. So I saw Rob at Telford, and I said that I would put him out there. And also, if you are looking to buy, or if you want to have a look at the Peugeot 205 GTI unboxing that I did. There's a video on my channel you can go over and have a look at and see what you think of that. I was very impressed. I think others here were impressed as well with that. So you know, and as I said, you know, model with all model companies, I know, and I've said this a few times recently, but I'm trying to get it out there that this is called Airfix and Chill, not because it's about Airfix, even though we're English and we predominantly judge others on the characteristics and everything of Airfix, but it's a play on words with Netflix and Chill. So you know, when people at TOEFL were saying, "Oh, watch Airfix and Chill," because it's all about Airfix, and it's not. You know, and you can see by the scale modelers here, I don't think one of us here are predominantly you know, are building just Airfix. We build scale models. We build, you know,
whatever takes your interest.
It is the subject matter.
Yeah,
it's just because we're English. I'm pretty sure that if we were,
I'm not English.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
yeah.
Speak for yourself, Moz.
Yeah, I'm sure Ben would call it Italiex and Chill if it was if it was in Italy. It's just a play on words, and we've had Luke from Revell on here. We often get Dale on here when they've got releases. But we are open as a collective of scale modelers who've got YouTube channels and who are predominant in the scale model community. Well, you know, if ICM want to come and have a chat with us, they can do. If Mini Art want to, we'll ask them to leave the photo etch at the door, but they can come in and have a chat with us, most definitely. But yeah, it's really good that that Hella have realised that. I won't say realised that. I don't think they've had the opportunity or the time to get involved with social media and stuff in the way that they would like to. But I think after the 5 years of development, we will kind of see them more on social media. And I think, you know, I'm not trying to blow smoke up Airfix's bottom here, but I think they have set the standard on what's to be seen online. And that's not a bad thing. It really isn't, you know. And I think that other manufacturers, especially Revell now with Luke, are now doing more online. I think it's a good thing. Alt92 just says it's funny. People just don't get that Airfix is one of those things where the brand represents a type, like Biro or Bic represents all disposable pens. Yeah, I get that. And electric cars. Oh, you've got a Tesla, have you? I've heard that being said a few times. Oh, it's not quite a Tesla, but it, you know, I've heard that. Hoover, you know. So yeah, I get that. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining us tonight. Everyone in the chat, to the panel, John Alex, Scale Modelling, Ben, Barry from North Devon Model Society. We've got Jim. We've got Joffy. We've got Simon from Simon Modelling Shed. Mike from Bearded Veterans, and Zinzan as well. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Have a good rest of your week. And if you've not, I'll see you all on Discord. Have a great rest of your week, folks, and take care. Oh, one more thing. We're not in next week because I'm not available next week. So there's no Airfix and Chill next week. All right. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Take care, everyone, and have a rest of a good week. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.